welcome. I'm Kayla Scrivener, and today I'm going to be going over my channel goals, my writing goals, as well as my personal goals. If you're only interested in my reading goals, I have good news for you. You don't have to watch this video because there'll be another one where I'll be concisely going over that, so you don't have to be burdened by long periods of time that you don't care about, because I care about your enjoyment. Anyways, my first goal is always about subscribers, and it's always arbitrary, and it's always 1,000, and I never get it, but that's okay. This year I guess I have the best chance because, I have more subscribers than I did last year. Even with that, I would have to literally double my subscription, so it's unlikely. However, if it does, I will dance around and be happy and joyful because literally every time I get a subscriber, I get so freaking happy. Thank you guys. Every time I'm like, hey, someone cares enough about my opinion that they're willing to subscribe to me. It means a lot, so thank you. Anyways, moving on, we have video goals. Over the last 2 years, I've really done 100 to 110 videos a year. However, I've always had months where, because of health or school or other things that have come up, I have not been able to do videos every single consistently during that time. You know what I'm saying. But hopefully, with routine and more practice and more pre-filming and just organization, that will not happen this year. So, here's to doing about 3 videos a week. Not on the same days. I'm not even that organized. Let's go on. So next, I'm going to hopefully do some reviews, and my goal is to do 25, which equals out to about 2 a month. And reviews are something that I enjoy the most, that along with discussions, and yet I have for a really long time had a lot of imposter syndrome around it because I feel like if I don't do everything right or have the most in-depth thing or someone disagrees with me, I'll just be called a fraud. And I know that's not right, and I know that I have valuable things to say, even if I don't go into every single area. However, we're gonna break this year because I do feel much more confident, and they are the videos that I'm the most proud of. They're the ones I put the most work into in writing and really just analyzing and doing my best into it. So I want to be able to get over the nerves and do content that I really, really enjoy. Not that I don't enjoy other content, I just really enjoy content where I get to discuss things that are really important to me. And that's true in the books that I talk about and the discussions I make. So let's do that. And for ideas for that, I want to do some Anne of Green Gables ones because they're my favorite books and I've been rereading them, and I want to review them because they're fun and more people should love them. And I'm also going to be rereading The Hunger Games, so I might talk about that. And I have some videos. I want to do some Frankenstein videos because I freaking love the classic Frankenstein, and I don't have a review for it. And I also freaking love The Dark Descent of Elizabeth Frankenstein, which is an adaptation by Kiersten White, and I would love to do reviews for both of them and then compare them. It's like videos like that that are just more creative and enjoyable and lovely. So, and then I want to do some author deep dives. I really, really enjoy digging into authors' lives and discussing them and learning more. I do not believe in the death of the author at all. It's a lie. I'm a writer myself, and yes, parts of who I am come into it. You cannot, it's the thing you learn. Nothing is without bias, so everything who's it written by matters. Anyways, so I'm going to definitely do one for Lucy Maud Montgomery because she's my favorite author, and I really just enjoy her life story and how much that's inspirational to me. I should have done this a long time ago. I know so much about so many authors, but especially her, but nerves have got in the way, so this is the year for defeating nerves. I also want to spend a good chunk of time doing writing videos. I don't have a number, but I'm going to be doing it because I love writing, I love discussing writing, and I find it very interesting. I'm not a very large part of the AuthorTube community, and I want to be. And I haven't made videos in the past because a lot of the advice that I find is a lot of generic. It's ones that don't apply to me because I write very differently, and I wouldn't necessarily advertise the way that I write to other people. But I have some scripts from last year that I just never got the nerve up to make videos on, and they often focus on psychology, and that's my background in counseling, so I know a lot about how to write people, and world building and history are really my specialty, so I want to do videos that are really grounded in that and things that I know especially well and can bring to the table that other people might not be the most informed about. So interested in those videos, holding myself to doing them, and then just more generally educational videos, one doing more deep dives and exploration into things. I have some ideas, I won't talk about them yet, but they're going to be good. And then also kind of not related to my channel, but I want to be more consistent on Bookstagram because I want to do it. I want to be aesthetic, all of the things. For a long time it scared me because I don't have a lot of things to make it aesthetic and I just have my iPhone, but I don't even have an iPhone. It's a Samsung. What am I saying? Anyways, I want to spend more time doing that because it's fun, and I have been doing more on stories and stuff like that, and that's really enjoyable. And if you really want to have consistency in what I'm reading and writing, put on my Instagram because I talk a lot on my Instagram stories about that. And then I also want to get more courage in reaching out to publishers for arcs and stuff. It's something I wanted to do for a really long time, and I keep on having like, I'm not good enough again. I know I'll say this a lot, but it's something that's really present in my life, and I think it's present in many people, so many people can probably relate to it. And I haven't felt like I was good enough to reach out, because who would really want me to review something? And yet I know there's lots of people who have smaller subscription counts and stuff like that that publishers work with. So it's not, I'm at a level where I'm able to do this, and I've worked really hard to do reviews well and to talk about books really well. So I need to stop doubting myself. That's the major goal for 2020. You'll notice a theme. So I'm editing, and I realized I totally forgot to talk about the parts of BookTube that I'm actually going to be involved in. First of all and foremost, I'm going to be involved in the POC-a-thon. This is a readathon that takes place in August that is just my pride and joy. I really enjoy running and planning and organizing it, and the co-hosts are amazing and some of my favorite people on the BookTube, so really hoping they're all going to be coming back, and it's going to be excellent. And this is a readathon that focuses on promoting voices of color and just making sure that people's voices are heard and really celebrating the diversity that we have in this community. And it's been so great, because when I started, I was like, there are no readathons focused on people of color, and now there are several that are just like taken over BookTube, and it's excellent to see that. And then of course I'm going to be continuing it on with Read DA, Demigods Anonymous, with Kenzie and Margaret, and we have guest hosts, and it's going to be awesome, and I'm really excited for the books that we're going to be reading this year of Rick Riordan's extended versions and works. And then I am also hosting part of the August Anonymous part of the book club, which is reading a Jane Austen book each month, and I'm going to be hosting the May for Emma, and I'm really excited. I'm also probably going to be participating in the other ones, but this one especially because, you know, Emma is amazing and hilarious and freaking funny, and it's going to be excellent. So moving on to writing goals, my first one is to write 1,000 words 5 days a week on my work in progress. I failed this already, but don't just give up because you failed in January. We need to hold on until this is a routine that I got. And then I want to complete my first draft by December. I wanted this last year because of health and all of the craziness. I didn't end up doing this, but I did a lot. I think 2019 was the year with the most progress in improving my writing, improving my stories, and world building and all of that. And I also want to be consistently reading sociology, reading history, and being really enmeshed in writing well. But also, because I do so much of that, like, I'm literally the Tolkien when it comes to, like, I have Silmarillion. Like, world building is my focus. Like, world building is what I'm really, really good at, and I really need to get the craft and do the work, because I have all the stories, it's been in my mind so much, I know it, but I need to sit out and write scenes and stuff, and that's the things that scare me, because dialogue and stuff is not my strong suit. But talking about that, I am going to be in writing group with some other booktubers, which I think will really help having conversations, and I'm so excited because they are lovely human beings, and it's going to be lovely. And then I also want to blog consistently. This isn't a part of my life that I really talk about on this, but when I was 16, I started a blog. We talked about mental health and social issues primarily, and that's when I started my YouTube channel. It's actually an extension of that, and the videos are all cringy, so they are privated. However, a few months later, I decided to change my direction, talk about books, and then through that, BookTube discovered me, and it was lovely. However, I want to go back to spending more time focused on writing nonfiction, writing about things that I really care about, because advocating is something that I'm really, really passionate about doing, and I've let that lax. I think my last post on there was from January 2018, which was when I really started doing this super consistently. So we're gonna go back to that. It's gonna be great. I really talked about personal goals on my channel before, but the vulnerability begins here. The first one is meal planning, and meal planning will help me a lot. For those who don't know, I have fibromyalgia, which is an inflammatory disease, thus eating food that does not have as much inflammatory in it really significantly improves my standard of living. So I've been trying to do that the best I can. However, because that means I can't eat gluten, dairy, or sugar, including like carbs, because carbs turn into sugar. Like, I can't literally eat fruit. Doctors told me not to eat fruit. Who does that? But that means that I have to make every single meal from scratch, because everything that's pre-made has those things and causes me to sicker. Because of that, and connection also with my eating disorder, it can be very difficult for me to have consistent meals, consistent things, because if I'm not feeling up to making a full meal and standing and cooking and all of that, then I can't eat, and then I spiral worse, and it's a toxic cycle that having meals prepared where I can just heat them up and or something like that will really significantly help me. I just need to be able to spend the days that I do have energy, rather than doing fun stuff, to actually spend those days preparing myself for worse days. So those are my goals. Then I also want to be in bed by 11:30 5 days a week. I've had insomnia since I was a little kid, but it especially got escalated when I was a teenager and just worse, like got really bad because I have PTSD as well as just chronic pain. So sleeping is not something that's easy for me. However, I just really want to make a routine of it because I have limited energy as it is, and spending a lot of my days sleeping because of that is hard. And I sleep longer than more people anyways when I do sleep. So we're gonna jump into my next one, which is just to exercise, figure out a way to do that. I cannot actually do sports, which is really the only enjoyable way to do exercise. Do people enjoy exercising for the sake of exercising? I don't think so. However, I guess there's crazy people who do. Anyways, I don't. So exercising lightly really does help people who have chronic pain. However, I need to figure out a way that does this because exercising also hurts your body, and I'm already in so much hurt that it's hard to be able to do that in a way that is productive instead of harmful. So researching that, figuring out ways, and trying techniques is going to be fun. And then we have friend dates. Because of my health, I have slipped in a lot of ways that I already have really bad social anxiety. I can be such a social butterfly if I feel comfortable in a situation, but my health has taken a lot of my security for a really long time because it took, my reliability, my ability to be there, and also often make me feel interesting because when your life consists of being bedridden a lot, it's not always fun to talk to people when they're like, hey, what are you doing? What are you doing for life? And you're like, sleeping, being in pain, it's great. Anyways, I want to be more consistent in reaching out to the people of the community because I do have really cool friends, and as over the last year when I'm learning to take care of myself better, I have been getting more energy and better use of the limited energy that I do, and I want to spend more of that time in community and in building into people because that's really my passion. Counseling is my schooling, and even though I can't do that as a career because of my health, I want to be able to be a positive influence in my life. So that's a thing. And then also really advocate for myself going forward. I love the Canadian health system because if I lived in a lot of other places, I wouldn't be able to afford to get the medical care that I do. But it also means the medical system is extremely slow, and it's hard to get the help that you want, especially when you look like me and you're chronically ill, because people don't take me seriously because I'm a young thing that, is perfectly healthy, of course. I've been chronically ill since I was 11. I didn't get a diagnosis until I was 21, and I'm still fighting a year later to be able to get the help that I can and get disability so that I can get properly helped during my times that I'm ill. So this year, I'm really hoping to drive through the insecurity, drive through the anxiety of really advocating for myself so that I can get the help I need because it's something that is way overdue. So those are my goals going into 2020. Hope that I will be able to do them. Let me know your goals, whatever kind of goals they are. I'm interested because I actually do care. I'm not just saying that because I can. Anyways, I look forward to seeing you soon. Happy reading and writing and creating, and I will see you very, very soon.